Hello YouTube, IntuitiveEdge. Tonight I'd like to talk about how to find lost objects. Now, I know that probably everyone out there has ever had the frustrating moment where you lose something important, whether you lose your keys, whether you can't find your shoes, or you can't find something important that you were depending on, and it's lost. You don't know where it went, and it's frustrating as heck if you've ever been in that position, and probably most of you have dealt with something similar to that. I have found something that really works for me in finding lost objects, and it's a trick that I learned, and it takes some discipline, but I wanted to share what I've found that works for me. And if you ever come into that space again where you lose something and you can't find it and you're frustrated, see if maybe this will work for you. So number one is to let go of the anxiety and the fear. Now, this is much easier said than done. And I'm going to give you a tip that helps me to do exactly that. And what I tell myself when I lose something and I can't find it is that, and I think, oh, it's lost, it's gone, I'll never find it. If you can shift that a little bit and tell yourself that, you know what, I may not know where it is, but God or Source or the universe, God knows where this is. And if you can tell yourself that, God knows where it is. I may not know where it is, but God knows where it is. And use that to help you shift out of being frantic or upset or anxious. And then if you're able to, with that knowledge that it's not lost, if God knows where it is, it's not lost. And then relax with that. And with that relaxed feeling, say, okay, God, you know where it is. Please help me locate it. Please help me to find it. Please show me where it is. And help me not to feel so anxious and frustrated or whatever you're feeling at the moment. So, for instance, real life, I had to experience that again this weekend. My husband and I went on a short little road trip, and we were staying in a hotel, and I get up the next morning and we go to leave, and I cannot find my key anywhere and to my car. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I cannot find this stupid car key. And I was really frustrated. I tore everything apart. I tore the whole hotel, basically turned everything upside down. I'm looking under the bed. I'm looking everywhere. You know, I'm like unpacking my bags. I'm like, it's nowhere. I'm like, okay, this is frustrating. Go out to my car. I look through my car. It's not out there. I look on the ground. I go to the hotel. Did anyone turn in keys? No. And by this time, I'm like, 2 hours by now. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I finally was like, you know what the trick is. You've done this before. You know how to deal with things that are quote unquote lost. So I had to stop what I was doing. I said, okay, God knows right where my keys are. They're not lost. I just don't know where they're at. So I calmed myself down and I said my little prayer. Okay, God, you know where it's at. And within probably 10 minutes of me saying that prayer, my husband said, you know what, let me go back down to your car and I'll look for you and I'll see if I can find him, like, here, And thankfully we had another set of keys to the car, thank goodness. But so he went back out, and lo and behold, he found my keys. It was underneath this little box that I have in my car that keeps like items. Anyway, it was under my keys somehow were underneath that. But literally 10 minutes after I stopped being frantic and I say, okay, God, the keys are not lost. You know where they're at. Please help me find them. This has never failed me. I've done this with other things too. something comes up missing, and I'm like, you know what? It's not missing. It's not lost, because God knows where it is. Just because I don't doesn't mean it's lost. It just means I don't know where it is. So I wanted to share that with you. If ever you come upon a lost object and you're frantic, if you can take a moment to calm yourself and not be frantic and give it over to God and ask for help and guidance. It works for me. You know, I don't want to say I guarantee, but it works for me. Every time I've done this, it works for me. I think the key is to let go of the anxiety, let go of the despair or the franticness. And if you can just relax, and again, that's easier said than done. Because if it's something important like your keys and you're trying to go somewhere and you can't, that's very frustrating. So, but anyway, I just wanted to share this with you. If you can, next time you lose something or can't find something important, give it a try. What can it hurt, right? And hopefully you will find what you've lost. Okay, that's all for now. Just wanted to share that little tip. Hope everybody's doing well. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.